We are Witches Who Podcast.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, Dee.
Anything weird, interesting happened to you lately?
I don't know. I feel like my whole life is weird. You know, other than just not sleeping because the whole D word situation keeps popping up.
Gosh, still happening.
I don't know what's happening.
Maybe it's going to take a little time to get it out of your system.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of something, good warning for anybody out there, you know, type of dumpster diving into the D word.
Yeah. Pace yourself, people.
Yeah, maybe don't go all in.
Yeah, that's the message
because
here.
maybe what it is weird is like life continues to be a little weird after that episode. See, everything holds vibration, and like you met, I think you may have mentioned or not, like after watching this documentary. Well, before you watch this documentary, it had a disclaimer. So come on,
it did have a disclaimer.
So these shows or even videos on YouTube and other platforms that is like, hey, just to let you know, things can also transfer through you know these and waves, there's radio waves. It's very true.
Frequency is frequency. It's universal, right?
Yep.
So
absolutely.
But I need to stop like thinking about it.
Yeah, I get that. But sometimes when we get a little trigger, like a little frightening, it will linger. Yeah,
it's so weird though, because it's like I don't usually get like that. Like I don't usually get scared. So it's so interesting to me that like I guess it's not really scaring me as much as it's just like super disruptive. Like I'm irritated.
But it spoke to a part of you. That it like woke up a part of you that did not like it.
Yeah, literally all night.
Yeah, gosh. Well, okay. People out there, read the disclaimers and maybe don't watch the thing, or
maybe just skip episode whatever that was.
Go to the third episode.
Yeah, just I don't even know.
Well,
what about you?
What about me? Well, I've had this really funky headache. So every time I'm going to get a migraine, I know it comes from, I begin to feel this funky pain behind my left eye. But this is different. It's just like my eyes, they just feel like tired, almost like if I haven't slept for a long time. But it localized almost like in my pineal gland and like third eye, just like I can feel in the middle of my head. And I went to bed with it. And then this morning I woke up with not as much, but also I think it may have been like an overload of electronics. So, you know, I was like on my computer last night, and then I watched a movie with my son, and then I watched another little show, and I was already not feeling great. And this morning I was like doing some more research for the episode that we're having today. And I think it was just like a lot of just information kind of like coming in. And I literally I was like, what I need right now is to go and lay on the ground outside. So it was a little chilly, but the sun was coming out, and I just put a blanket where the sun was really hitting. And I wanted to be belly down. And if I'm going to go take a nap, I'm going to be face up, sideways, you know, all that. But I wanted to be like hard to the earth and just kind of like in this position of like hugging the earth. And I was out there for like an hour and 20 minutes. And nice. I fell asleep a couple of times, you know, as much as you can fall asleep on literally the dirt because it's almost like a little cricket. And once I was like, okay, I feel so much better. I did some breathing, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm good to go. And then all I wanted was for you. So you know that I'm doing well. I know.
Well, that's good. Literally just letting the sun bake it out of you. It's nice.
It is. Yeah. But also like, I wanted to just give it to the earth. I was just letting the earth like heal.
Transmute.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah.
That's so nice. Like Tucker.
I know Tucker. He's back. For those on video, he is back.
Just slightly off camera.
I know.
You might be able to hear him a little.
I know. He is adorable.
It's good. But anyways, I'm Shelby.
And I am Dee.
And we are Witches Who Podcast. And this is part 2 of our episode from last week. Ancient astronaut theory. And this one is all about ancient civilizations.
Yes.
And Dee did all the homework. I did like a little bit just because I couldn't help myself, but she's got what is that, like 9-point font, 6 pages typed notes over there?
I have 6 pages on tiny, on small font. But yeah.
Hence the glasses today.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Today I have the glasses and the whole shebang. But last week talking about,
For us, it was yesterday.
we're talking about aliens or gods.
Yes,
so we do
yes,
touch,
yes.
and I know you do have some notes because I discovered something that we were talking about yesterday that came up today. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Okay.
Yeah, Poseidon wasn't the only one. Is
Oh
that
my
what you're
gosh.
saying right now?
There's-
So to recap, I guess we should,
Yeah.
in case you're just chopping into part 2, but go back and listen to part 1, and this will make probably more sense. But ancient astronaut theory is this concept that a long time ago, ETs influenced early man.
Yeah.
They came down from the heavens and influenced early civilizations, and helped them, evolve and whatever. So they played a big part in our evolution as humans. And then if you go back and listen to part 1, you'll learn all about different theories around that, genetic engineering, advanced technologies, and all that kind of stuff. And I know we're going to jump in and I'll go a little bit deeper around like cultural
Yes.
specificities.
Yes.
That's not a word, but whatever.
So we know, like I'm going to try for those in video.
Put the paper in the face.
Sorry.
It's good. It's all good.
You cannot see me, but we know many ancient civilizations have legends and the myths and unexplained architectural features that some theories believe could be linked to extraterrestrial influence. Lost advanced technologies, which I strongly believe, or divine intervention. So I want to start, and I believe yesterday you started with Sumeria, so Mesopotamia. So the ancient Sumerians and the connection with the Anunnaki.
Yes.
Which actually a while back,
I don't think I mentioned that yesterday. I think it was after we stopped recording.
but I think you have notes for it for today.
I do,
right?
yeah.
So the connection with the Anunnaki, and actually a while back, I remember, you get those on Instagram, like learn if you're a starseed, learn like all these quiz. And I did one from a woman that I was in her Discord account, and she has a whole thing. Her name is Elizabeth April. I'll put a link for her. She's incredible. And she channels, she's super awesome. She actually channels ETs. She channels,
What?
Oh my gosh, what is it'll come to me, but it's the Federation, the Galactic Federation. Yes, that's who she channels.
Ooh, that's an episode topic for sure. Write that down.
So, so she had one of those of like, hey, if you want to know like which alien species you are, and I am part Anunnaki.
Interesting. Well, who are these Anunnaki? I just like that word, Anunnaki. Anunnaki sounds like a fancy clothing brand.
Oh gosh. So with the ancient Sumerians in Mesopotamia, it's called Ziggurats, the great Ziggurats of Ur. It's in Iraq.
Oh.
But first of all, the connection with the Sumerians and the aliens or divine connections. The Sumerians wrote about the Anunnaki, a group of deities or advanced beings from the heavens who supposedly guide them to technology, agriculture, and civilization buildings. Some believe the Anunnaki were extraterrestrials who manipulated human genetics.
So consistent. See, I know we were talking about that before too, that like maybe these gods, like the Anunnaki, like it could just be a different interpretation of like what we talked about yesterday with like Poseidon, right? Like it could be the same god, just fewer different lens. So interesting. Like the genetic thing, like the genetic, like splicing or what is it? Engineering.
Okay.
Is like so consistent.
And actually they believe that in this particular, in the Great Sigurd of Ur, that's what it was used for genetically modification. Like it's crazy. Okay. So the Great Sigurd of Ur, which is the ancient Sumerian city now in Iraq, is the most important ancient Mesopotamian structure because it's dedicated to the moon god Nana, who was the patron deity of the city. The construction of the Sigurd of Ur began under the reign of King Ur-Nammu of the third dynasty and was finished by his son, King Shulgi. It is one of three well-preserved structures of the Neon Sumerian city of Ur, along with the royal mausolea in the palace of Ur-Nammu. The remains of the ancient stepped, it's both because this pyramid is a stepped pyramid. It's not like pointy like the Giza. Yeah.
It's like Machu Picchu.
Yeah, kind of. But like almost like shorter and really white as well.
Weird.
Yeah. So the remains of this ancient stepped pyramid was discovered by William Kenneth Loftus in 1850, but it was actually Sir Leonard Woolley who excavated in the 1920s and 1930s. In ancient times, Sumer was considered to be the cradle of civilization, where Mesopotamians worship a great numbers of deities, also known as the Anunnaki, which represented the various forces of the world. It is estimated that the deities in the Sumerian pantheon were numbered in hundreds or even thousands, but there are seven top-ranking gods. These gods are An, Enlil, Enki, Inanna. I definitely heard of Inanna. Utu, Ninursag, and Nana, the god of the moon and of wisdom. So
Okay, I'm sorry. All these names just sound like you're just making noise. Like with your, you're like, no. Same thing.
Oh no, but I love, and also because this is like to the god. How many gods are of the sun, of the moon?
Oh my god,
there's different
many
representations of them. So this is the first one, the ancient Sumerians with the great Sugars of Ur in Iraq, and it's still there. So if you want to go check it out,
kinda.
Then I know. And then we're going to go into what we all know, the great pyramids and the gods from the stars. So ancient Egyptians, so the pyramids of Giza, which we all know, and the Sphinx, which I found some interesting things on the Sphinx. So alien connection or divine connection, Egyptian mythology speaks of gods like Thoth and Osiris who had otherworldly abilities. Some theories suggest the alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt indicates extraterrestrial involvement. The precision cut stones, advanced engineering, and supposed energy properties of the pyramids add to that speculation, which we have known for a long time that all these places were almost like battery chargers, like they hold so much energy. And as you'll listen more to this, they all have the energy part.
Interesting.
And they're in a lot of them align also with the Orion's belt.
A lot of the different pyramids or just Egypt?
Nope, different pyramids all over the world.
Weird.
Yeah. And so I'm like, So Egyptologists say that the Great Pyramid and the other hundreds or so ancient Egyptian pyramids were likely built by humans as tombs for Egyptian pharaohs and their relatives. However, ancient astronaut theories feature and so I'm going to talk a lot about ancient aliens, which I didn't know it was a show until I started to do this research. And then you told me there was like 30 seasons.
Yeah. What's his name? Like Giorgio or something is his name?
Or something.
No, the guy. Have you seen those memes on Instagram or all over the place where it's like the guy with the crazy hair? He's like, aliens. That's the guy from Ancient Aliens.
And I can see his name because I read
it's like
it.
Giorgio or Gregorio. I think it's Giorgio. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
Love
moving
that guy.
on. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of reference a lot of the information I found. They all kind of come down to the ancient aliens. Like a lot of the information out there is like, oh, these people have done some research, and so it looks like a reputable source.
Oh, like of the show, you mean?
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. So however, ancient astronaut theories feature on ancient aliens have other ideas about their origins and purpose. First, ancient aliens suggested that there is a mathematical code in the Great Pyramid design, one evincing technological sophistication far in excess of anything that we have today, according to David Wilcock. Much is made by the ancient aliens about the measurements of the Great Pyramid and its alignment to the stars, particularly Orion's belt.
This is the Great Pyramid still?
Okay. This is the Great Pyramids. And So in particular to Orion's belt and the equator, proving at least in ancient astronaut theories' mind that ETs were influential in creation. So it's insane. So everything, a lot of the things is like, a lot of people say mathematics, like don't lie, like math, like it's that number and that number and that's it. It makes the equation, it makes it like that. So that's a big part that plays here.
And there's like the pyramids, like the inside of them equal out to like what, like pi, and like the golden ratio, like there's a bunch of stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So this other gentleman who's also in this show, David Childress, he highlights the so-called mathematical knowledge that is encoded into the Great Pyramids, the measurements that are used in it. For example, the Great Pyramids align with the true north. With the true north is within 3/16th of degree, which is apparently a more accurate alignment than any other structure in the earth. Oh, here's the name. Is Giorgio Tsoukalos. Giorgio Tsoukalos. Okay, because Giorgio Tsoukalos, who has been featured on more than 200 episodes, oh my goodness, on that show, and is also the co-executive director of the show, claims that measurements of the Great Pyramids location and size must have been planned intentionally by ETs. He says, when you consider the vast amount of information about the Earth that is encoded into the Great Pyramid, you can't just dismiss all of this as pure coincidence.
The what that's encoded?
The information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the mathematical knowledge. Okay. So, yeah.
And when you say encoded, what does that necessarily mean?
You consider the vast amount of information about the Earth's that's encoded
about the Earth.
But it's
like,
it sounds
in the
like,
form of like hieroglyphs. Like, are we seeing this, or is this like an energetic encoding, or
you know what?
How do we know
this? It specify. I didn't. Let's see if it says it. I don't think they specify. There's also a lot of energy and vibration, like electromagnetic.
I don't know, like there. I know they've done like a ton of research and like taking measurements and stuff. Like that's how they know. Like,
maybe that's the type of information, because again, we are so far, like we're like, I don't know, probably preschoolers will know more than how we are in relation to this type of technology. You know, it's just pretty insane. So everybody's believing in ETs, right? But there's somebody who is like, I don't think so. So I also wanted to share what not only the
skeptics are saying.
Yes. So this was based on Giorgio Tsoukalos. So okay. So there was sorry. Oh. So it must be 3 something. Yep. 3:54. So you can't dismiss it as a coincidence, right? But astrophysicist Cornelius de Jager noted it was simple to find a connection in numbers if we look hard enough. De Jager deduced that there was nothing special about the measurements of the Great Pyramids, drawing his conclusion from an experiment involving a bicycle, in which he found apparent connections between the bike's measurements and gravitational pull and the velocity of light. What? I know. The connections were, according to de Jager, mere coincidence, just as the connections pseudoscientific researchers claim to have found between the Great Pyramids and the Earth. Coincidence occur, de Jager said, regularly in numerical experiments, as is in daily life. So there are the skepticals that, it's like, hey, well, that kind of... So that I wanted to bring that also to the light and not just be like, yes, we're like all into the aliens, which we are, but hey,
so
we
there's
want to...
inconsistencies in this testing.
Yes. And then this other theory I really like. So another theory from our friends on Ancient Aliens about the Great Pyramids and other pyramids throughout the world is that they are power plants. Okay?
Ooh, I like this.
That create energy and electromagnetic vibrations. These vibrations from the pyramid permit transmission of people, objects, and consciousness from dimension to dimension. I like that. Not only that, but according to ancient astronaut theories, the Great Pyramid is a time machine capable of defying the laws of physics. And then in the show, they emphasize the pharaohs were seen as Egyptian gods and were in contact with the guardians of the sky. One such example is my cat, Ramesses II. Ancient aliens imply that Ramesses was a descendant of the god of the afterlife, Osiris, and was part human, in part god. Then the show draws the ultimate conclusion: Ramesses II was in fact an ET, as were the other pharaohs.
Interesting.
I know.
And a lot of the pharaohs too, they're like depicted with like, you know, like different animal heads and like stuff like that, which would be consistent with, you know, the genetic engineering of what's his face from
from Sumeria.
Yeah, from Sumeria, because yesterday we were talking about Poseidon, because he had all these like weird mythical creatures because they were messing with genetics. So like that would be totally consistent.
So that's the Great Pyramids. Now the Sphinx, right? A lot of people are like, it used to be a lion, now it's a human face, but now it's like a human face with like paws. So it's like, was it a lion? Was it not? And I couldn't remember the goddess.
What do you mean?
Is it Hathor? The one that is no, which one is there's one that is a Sekhmet.
Sekhmet is like the dog.
Yeah.
Hathor is the one that's like
There's one
eagle or a falcon or whatever that is.
I couldn't remember. But okay. So with the Sphinx of Giza,
What are you trying to remember?
well, the name of the goddess that is it's like a lion. Her face is a lion.
I don't know.
I can't remember. Okay. It'll come to me. We'll put it in the show notes.
Eventually.
So the Great Sphinx of Giza, they're located about half a mile from the main pyramid complex in Giza. The first theory is that it is a communication device used to talk with ETs. The giant monolith contains no inscriptions, but there is an epigraphic stele called the dream stele, which is between the front paws of the structure. It is said that the Tutmos, it is said that Tutmos the fourth had a dream where the Sphinx spoke to him, promising him that he would one day be pharaoh, even though he was not in line of succession. So our friends at Ancient Aliens, it's like homes in one. Ancient Alien homes in one's in. I'm so sorry. I can't read people today. Ancient Aliens homes on some texts that say, I have been here since the first time, which to ancient astronaut theorists means that the Sphinx is older than Egyptologists say. So they think this is even older. The Sphinx.
Who said that? Is this
in
a person?
Some text. No.
Oh.
Yeah. In some texts that say, so they found some texts that say, I have been here since the first time, because this gentleman, Tutmos IV, who was not in line for the throne to become a pharaoh, a Sphinx spoke to him and told him that in a dream. Yeah. So this must have been.
This was on the text that they found in whatever, wherever in Egypt. Okay,
and this kind of, almost like debunks that the Sphinx are also like older than what the Egyptologists say.
Got it.
Like this text is even older. And then if you find, in the show, it's like it offers this evidence that ETs had a hand in its creation. So you can learn more. And in that same show, there's a theory that the Sphinx contained the historical records of the so-called, you'll like this, historical records of the so-called lost city of Atlantis.
See,
it's
everywhere.
Proof is, and remember, it said it was a time machine.
Yeah.
So with the Great Pyramids, and then now here the Sphinx probably contained the information because the Great Pyramids were also time traveler. Like it's a time machine. In the city of Atlantis, it was like a standalone city that it can time travel. So probably the Sphinx is just holds all that information.
I really like the theory that Atlantis is like a spaceship that just like like I was watching a documentary about it, that it was literally like, it was like obviously an animation, but it was like, it showed Atlantis, and when it was done, like the Great Flood was happening, it just like folded up into a craft and like flew off. And like everything just like folded up and then just like flew away. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because then it could have been, you know, wherever it was in the Greek islands. And then now it could be in Egypt, right? Like it can travel. And then maybe it did go back in time, or maybe.
I like that idea.
I do like that. I like the time travel idea a lot.
I like that. I like that idea for sure.
Interesting.
I know. I love it. Okay. So that was Tucker.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, okay. So have you ever heard of Edgar Cayce?
Say it again.
Edgar Cayce. I believe he has the whole thing.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. So there's a, historical, there's a theory that the Sphinx contains the historical records of the so-called lost city of Atlantis.
Oh my God.
Proof is provided in the form of a testimony from American clairvoyant Edgar Cayce. Cayce said that he had a direct connection with Ra, the Egyptian sun god. During one of his readings, Cayce said Ra told him that he had built the Great Pyramid. Cayce also had a dream that
Ra built the pyramids?
Yeah. Cayce also had a dream that there was a hole of records containing the written history of Atlantis hidden in the right paw of the Sphinx.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did they go look for it?
I wish I could tell you that.
Man, probably not.
I know. It's just,
Interesting.
So now we go into human head or lion. Okay. So
both.
I know. See, los egipciólogos. So when I can't remember a word in English, I'm just going to say in Spanish. Okay?
Perfect.
Okay, so los egipciólogos believe the
sounds
Sphinx.
So fancy.
Believe the Sphinx, a human-headed lion, was built around 2500 BC, but admitted they don't know why it was built. Its purpose may have been to honor the pharaoh Khafre, who was likely the subject of human head presence on the monolith. It is possible it once also had a lion's head, but that it has changed into a human head, either due to weathering or destruction, or by order of the pharaoh himself. I have a feeling that it was a lion's head. I don't think this just crumble and it looked like a human now. I feel like it was definitely a lion.
But isn't the body of it's a lion's cat. Body? It's a feline, right?
Yeah. It is. It has paws.
Yeah.
So you still like human head paws, So anywho. So
yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. It would make sense the other way, because all the other gods and whatever are human body, animal head. So why would this one be the opposite?
I know, but so now, because they're saying that, it changed into a human head due to either the weathering, destruction, or ordered by the pharaoh. And that could explain why the head is proportionally so much smaller than the body. Despite various archaeological excavations, nothing has ever been found within the Sphinx paws. So they never found what was hiding there. Or
they did, and they just don't want to tell us.
I know.
Atlantis is real.
I want to fly in that Jeep. I want to ride there. Okay. Look at him. Tucker's just a kid. We're just looking at Tucker because he does
so cute.
The cutest upward dog ever and down dog ever.
Okay.
All right. So any questions on the Sphinx or the Great Pyramids that you must know? Oops.
I do have a couple of little notes just about it. The theory, the pyramids were built with ET intervention because of their precise construction. Every block, every little piece of the pyramids are so precisely cut that there wasn't technology like that then that we know of. We've never been able to find all the tools they've found, archaeologists have found, have all been little chisels and shit. It's not like they have laser cutters or anything. You know what I mean? How on earth is that even possible? And let's talk about how heavy this shit is. You really expect me to believe that there's just however many men that took to lift one block? No way. You know how long it would have taken them to build this? Half of the pyramid would have been, already fallen apart or something. You know what I mean? This just doesn't make any sense.
Well, unless they were, of course, Poseidon's children that were extra strong, and he made 3 billion of them.
That's true. Or they had anti-gravity.
Oh, yes. I like that better.
Or telekinesis.
Yeah. Telekinesis. I know. Move it.
I don't know. I just
possible.
like, I don't believe that like it just would have taken them like thousands of years. Like, which is, I guess that's probably what we're supposed to believe. Right. But I don't know. And I feel
But the
like
dates, I don't think it would, like, they match. It's so interesting how historians are like, it was built and this and that. And then it's like, and now, you know, so many years later, now they look this way. But I'm like, aren't you saying that it took, let's say, 3,000 years to build something, and then by 3,000 years, 200, it looks different? Like, come on. Like, I don't know. Okay, I may just be making things up. Also that.
Whatever.
I just channel it sometimes. Okay, this next one, I'm super excited.
Ooh, what is it?
I am so excited because it's the ancient Mayans, star maps, and cosmic knowledge. And we're going to talk some of my favorite places because I actually been to some of these. So we're going to talk about Chichen Itza, Palenque, and the Mayan calendar. Oh, you see his bed. And also the pyramids in Teotihuacan, which those are the ones I've been to. So first of all, the Mayans, right? We're going to talk about the divine connection. And also, I'm going to do a little plug-in. If you haven't seen Wakanda Forever, go see it because you will, it's like my favorite thing is Kukulkan. Okay. So the divine connection, the Mayans had highly advanced astronomical knowledge, which their pyramids aligned to celestial events. And the sarcophagus lid of King Pacal that is in Palenque depicts a figure that some believe resembles an astronaut operating a spacecraft.
Oh, okay. Real quick. I just remembered the thing I was going to say about the pyramids.
Okay, please.
There was also the hieroglyph that was a literal light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I forget what it was called.
But there's also like a lot of hieroglyphs that are like very alien-like.
Yeah. There's a ton. It's called the Dendera light bulb.
Ooh.
It literally,
a light bulb. I thought you said light bolt.
Oh,
And I
no,
was like,
no.
a light bulb.
Literally like a light bulb.
Light bulb. Yeah, light bulbs did not exist back then.
No, obviously not.
gotta kill 'em.
And yeah.
Lit something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, super fascinating. So how on earth they didn't have electricity?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what?
maybe they did.
It's true. Maybe they did.
And
Maybe
we
it was all
just
energetic. It was static or something. I don't know.
Hey, who created the light again? That gentleman?
Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson. Yeah, maybe.
The guy with the kite.
Yeah. And I could see him like an older gentleman now, like little chubby and cute with a kite.
Those little glasses.
Yes. Maybe
Maybe he's a time traveler.
Yes.
I feel like there's a theory there,
Hans.
actually. Hans.
Please watch part 1.
Maybe literally all of this is like because of Hans. He just traveled back. Like aliens actually aren't real. It's totally just,
just
us.
Hans.
It's just Hans traveling back in time and like fixing all these civilizations to like so that one day Hitler will win the war.
Oh gosh, no. My God.
You guys, you got to stop Hans.
Stop Hans. Go listen to part 1. My goodness. Okay.
Hashtag stop Hans. Okay.
Yeah. So the Mayans were obsessed with astronomy and with a highly advanced calendar that is still accurate today. We still need to figure out how or who built the calendar. Were the Mayans were the Mayans had the knowledge, or were they just very knowledgeable, or were they actually aliens? And actually something really cool. You're gonna like this, but I'm gonna share about it in just a second. But I found an article that was only written 9 months ago.
Ooh.
And it talks about something that can happen in real time in 15 years.
Oh God. Is this like the 2012 thing all over again though?
Kind of.
Oh God.
I kind of like it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So,
Have you ever seen Parks and Rec? That TV
Yes,
show?
I love
Have you ever
Parks
seen
and-
the episode where it's like there's the people, I forget what they're called, but they like worship this lizard god or whatever. And they're like, the apocalypse is going to happen on May 24th. And the Leslie Knope, she's like, oh, sorry, dude. Like the park is already booked on the day. He goes, oh, I did my calculations wrong. It's actually the next weekend. It's just like perfect.
Great. The park is open. You may use it.
Oh, that's when that's more convenient for the world.
For
to
the
end.
world. Oh, I love that. No, it's so funny because when that was happening, so everyone, I used to wear braces. And that day of the apocalypse,
What day was that? It was.
I'll tell you right now because it talks about it
like
here.
May 12th or something. I don't know why.
But it was the day that I was getting my braces removed.
Oh, and of course the world would end on this day.
I know. Finally, a smile I can be proud of. It's like, now you'll die. So we clearly did.
Oh my God.
Okay. Anywho, so so the most famous pyramid is the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan was one of the most dominant societies in Mesoamerica, according to Aztec tradition. The sun, the moon, and the rest of the universe trace their origins to Teotihuacan. And let me tell you, these pyramids are like anything you've seen on YouTube and all that. It does no justice to it. And I bet, I've never been to the Giza pyramids or anything, but I bet once you're there, just the energy that is around it is just out of this world. So
literally.
Yeah, literally. According to Aztec tradition, that's what I just said. The base of the Pyramid of the Sun measures 730 feet per side, with 5 stepped terraces reaching a height of 200 feet. Within the current pyramids, another earlier pyramid structure of almost the same size. And in 1971, archaeologists discovered a cave underneath the Pyramid of the Sun, leading to a chamber shaped like a 4-leaf clover. Artifacts in the cave indicated the rooms were used as shrines long before the pyramid was built. Though similar to the Pyramid of the Moon, the pyramid of the moon was built on a smaller scale and is called the Avenue of the Dead. Teotihuacan also contains a smaller stepstone covered temple pyramid called the Temple of the Feather Serpent Quetzalcoatl.
So there's 3 total?
Yes, there's actually more than 3. The biggest, there's 2 big ones and there's this other little small ones. So the Quetzalcoatl, the Feather Serpent, which I'm obsessed with, it was dedicated around AD 200. It's after death, 200. Yeah. Okay. And evidence has been found of some 200 individuals who were sacrificed in the ceremony to honor it. So 200 people.
Oh, yeah. My God.
So I know you were curious also about the Feather Serpent. And
because it has 2 names, right? But it's the same. Why God. 2 names?
We're about to go into that just now. And I love it. And just for anyone who's watching, I have a little ring right here. You can't see it. I'm making a lot of noise. But it's my favorite. It's heavy. And it's the Feather Serpent. I love. Maybe I was the Feather Serpent's lover.
Or you were the Fire Serpent. Or you're Hans.
Your Hans disguised a D. Okay. So, there were a couple of names for a feather serpent god in the Mayan pantheon who descended from the heavens and taught this ancient people about astronomy, architecture, and construction. It was known as the Quetzalcoatl in Nahuatl language, in Kukulclan in Mayan.
Oh, got it. So Aztec versus Mayan.
Yes.
Okay.
This entity was highly revered. So Kukulclan told the Mayans that he would one day return to Earth. This date was calculated as December 21st, 2012.
Oh, so that was supposed to be the end of the world? They thought that was the rapture?
Yes. Something. Well, they didn't think it was the rapture. I think people hyped it up to be that because the Mayan calendar was supposed to end on that day. But there was no other evidence of another calendar. So they're like, this one ends. This is it.
Oh, did it really end?
No, the calendar finished, but it kind of went through. I can't remember exactly. I remember watching something with my grandma around that.
I remember something where they misinterpreted, it's a circle calendar essentially. So I don't remember. We should do more research on that.
So I know it would be fascinating just to do research on that. So of course there was all this excitement and leading up to the day that many assumed that could be the apocalypse. But while the prophecy, quote unquote, failed, Eric von Däniken, which is...
Sounds German.
Yes. But we were just talking about him yesterday.
He's the guy of Chariots of the Gods.
Yes, he is. Well, okay. So Eric, who is this author and all about the aliens,
Love that guy.
says that this date was calculated based on the Judeo-Christian calendar related to Christianity.
Oh,
Ding,
okay.
ding,
So the
ding.
Christians decided that it was the apocalypse.
Yeah, the
Got
birth
it.
of Christ. But Daniken says that there are more or less 20 years around the day that we think Christ was born, distorting
Yeah.
our prediction of the return of Quetzalcoatl. We still have 15 years to see whether the Mayan prediction will come through. So 15 years from now.
So, oh,
So that is 2040?
I don't know.
sorry,
I can't.
2025?
So how do you say it again? How do you say
Yeah.
it?
Quetzalcoatl.
I'm going to say the other one.
Okay. Kukulclan.
That's way easier.
Okay.
Kukulkan.
Kukulclan.
But okay, so that kind of sounds like Jesus,
I know. Oh,
right? It's going to return.
yeah. I know.
Jesus was an alien, in case you guys didn't know.
Oh, I'm going to go home and watch Wakanda Forever. My kids are like tired of me probably. I'm like, I want to watch Wakanda. I cry. It's all amazing. I can't wait for the next.
It's such a good movie.
Okay. So 15 years, 2040. We're going to see what's going to happen.
Mark your calendars, the apocalypse. So give us all your money now. You can't die with it, people. I know. Sorry.
So we can do more research.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
eat
why.
froyo and boba. In a tomb.
Tucker needs to eat. All right, I'm done.
Yeah. In a tomb in Palenque, there is a carving of the second of the last Mayan rulers, Pacal, which is the one that earlier I mentioned that there was a carving of like an astronaut.
Oh, got it.
A spaceship
I
or
was like, what are
something.
you talking- An astronaut?
Oh, hold on. Did I say astronaut or spaceship?
I'm pretty sure you said astronaut.
Oh, an astronaut operating a spacecraft.
Oh, both.
Both. So, okay. So
Interesting.
in this, the second ruler that his, I'm sorry, Shelby, you threw me off.
Sorry.
Okay. In a tomb at Palenque, there is a carving of the second of the last Mayan rulers, Pacal. He was found operating to control an upward facing machine with flames and smoke shooting out the back. Ooh, control upward facing machine.
What?
With flames and smoking shooting off the back. So a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, archaeologists have claimed that this carving represents the tree of life or a descent into the underworld.
What?
I know. Two leading Maya epigraphers have stated that the inscriptions around the tomb detail an ascent into cosmos. Ascent into cosmos.
You know what? Like, have you not seen these carvings and everything? These people are pretty good.
I know.
You know, if they wanted to carve a tree, you would know it was a tree.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Like,
then
come
check
on.
this out. So this second ruler, that this is
Pakal?
Pakal, that this is his sarcophagus.
Okay.
Okay. So the remains of the ancient ruler were found
Oh.
inside that sarcophagus. Though the body was significantly taller than the average height of the ancient Mayans and appeared to have an unusual bone structure because more Mayans were like a particular height. No.
Whoa.
So he may have been an ET.
Interesting.
I know. So now we want alien proof.
Yeah.
Okay. So according to the Daily Express, Dr. Edson Vivanco, who is part of the team that made the discovery, said the bodies found... Wait. I know.
Bodies?
Sorry.
There's more bodies? Wasn't just Pakal? What is happening right now? Oh, I'm so excited.
No, don't be excited.
Foreshadowing.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Just wanted
that's so
to
funny.
make sure.
Well, okay, so Pakal was found. Did they do any testing on his remains? Or they're just like, well, obviously, I guess, or they just look at it and be like, this dude had bigger bones, or you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, hold on one thing. And no, they did do testing because they invited this gentleman.
oh, okay, got it. I'd be curious to
make
know,
sure.
like, you know, DNA wise, like, I guess, I don't know, was there still going to be DNA on this dude? I guess they weren't mummified like in Egypt, but oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So here, this one, an alien proof. So this one was in Palenque, and then they went to other pyramids, okay, to still in South America. So because then they went to another structure that doesn't say exactly which pyramid in Peru this was, but so the Mayans go from Mexico, like more South Mexico, like where you'll see, what is it from, is it Chiapas, I believe? I forgot. I can look at it, but we're like Cancun, the Yucatan Peninsula, all that, all the way, like not all the way down, but into the Amazon.
Okay.
You know, like,
got it. Like down to South America.
So an alien proof. So this is a different, there's going to be evidence and testing on these bodies, but these are not Pacal's body. Okay. They're talking about another pyramid.
Okay. So they found Pacal
in Mexico.
Okay.
This was in Mexico and Palenque.
Okay. So now we're moving down to South
moving
America.
down to Peru now.
Okay.
Which is also other Mayan. The only thing I noticed right now is it doesn't tell me that what
pyramid?
What pyramid this was. I can't believe I
vaguely remember, and they're like little people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing something about this.
So I don't know. Let's go here. And so according to the Daily Express, Dr. Edson Vivanco, who is part of the team that made the discovery, said the bodies
this is
found
recent, right? This isn't that long ago.
This was only a few years ago, this particular one. So the bodies found in Peru are extraterrestrial. One set of DNA test results found the remains were 100% human, while others were inconclusive. Vivanco's interview and statements were documented by British ufologist Steve Mira, who traveled to Peru. Dr. Vivanco said, they invited me to join the investigation to give my medical opinion and determine if the pieces we study were real or fraud. There are lots of details that indicate that the bodies are real. To recreate a skull with these characteristics is a challenging task. For example, regarding the internal structure of the skull, on first impression, I found it odd to examine a 3-fingered hand with 5 phalanges, finger segments, presented on each finger.
Wait,
found to examine a 3-finger hand with 5 phalanges. So within the 3, so it says phalanges, finger segments presented on each finger. So it had little hands in the fingers. What? Oh, little points out. Like you have a finger and then it has little fingers pointing out?
I think it had like a bunch of knuckles. Like it could bend.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like phalanges means finger.
Well, finger segments. Yeah. So it will be segments. Yeah.
Yes.
So it will be,
Yeah, like they literally can bend. They have like
5 times?
5 knuckles on one finger.
Whoa.
Yeah, because they're really long fingers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I watched a documentary all about this.
The continued mystery of the inexplicable discoveries regarding an ancient Mayan inspires curiosity. It fuels the idea that ancient alien gods may have visited them. The pyramids at Tikal are another anomaly that adds intrigue. And
Where's that?
Tikal, I believe Tikal is in Yucatan Peninsula. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Tikal, okay, check this out. So most of the pyramids were found near water because they needed water, because it's like a civilization, right? Mm-hmm, so you need water to survive.
Almost like an aqueduct.
Yeah. So, but the pyramids of Tikal, this I believe it's in Mexico, Tikal. I know there's a hotel called Tikal in Yucatan. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of that. But the pyramids at Tikal are another anomaly. Fuel the idea that ancient aliens, gods may have visited us. But what is really interesting and kind of unusual and very intriguing is that these pyramids of Tikal are more than 40 kilometers from any body of water.
And this is where they found these bodies?
It just says to continue the mystery. So this other one where they found the bodies, it's so interesting. It didn't say exactly where.
I don't know if it was pyramids or not, but I remember watching a series about, I think they call them like the Inca mummies or something like that. I don't really remember. But I remember they're a lot smaller, and there's 3 of them. There's three bodies they found. Yeah. And one of them is bigger. It's like a family, essentially.
Oh, okay.
And one of them had eggs inside of it.
Huh.
Yeah. Like
pregnant?
yeah. Like, yes. Like eggs. Not like how we would have eggs, but like how a reptile would have eggs. Yeah. And they actually found eggs inside of one that was said to be female. And they all were similar. They had long feet that only had, I think, 2 toes.
Ooh.
3 fingers with lots of finger knuckles. I remember that part. And they did a bunch of genetic testing on them. They took like skin samples because they were like mummified.
Wow. Mummified. So they must have meant something.
Yeah.
They weren't like just discarded.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And then I remember like a little bit ago, they were like the Mexican government came out and said like that they had a body. Do you remember that? It was like very recently.
Ooh.
That it was like a whole press conference that said like the Mexican government came out and said like we have a body and can prove that ETs are real or whatever.
You know, I don't doubt it because there is something that they created actually in the Yucatan Peninsula. I can't remember. It's like the magical train or the train of something, but there's this train that goes through the jungle.
Whoa, that's cool.
I know. I was like,
I want to do it.
But at the same time, I was like, there was such war over it because they were destroying land and destroying his. So they had to stop like that work for a long, long time. They had to stop because they will find remains and they would find like a lot of old artifacts. And so I think now it's running and it costs, I don't know, like
$1 million.
Yeah, like 20 grand to write it or something. Probably. But what I've seen of it is just like BIP, like beyond, like just gorgeous because they're going literally through the jungle.
Wow.
But what are they doing to my people?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll shoot them with some arrows. I'm kidding. Okay. So it was really far from body of water.
Which one was this? Sorry.
Tikal. Yeah, the Tikal pyramids, very far. So they will gather like water from like rain, and like, you know, stored it in reservoirs. But they built this massive city of like 100,000 citizens.
How interesting. So most pyramids, so even the pyramid like in Egypt, the ones we were just talking about in, where was the other ones in Mexico?
The Teotihuacan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the ones in Peru, all of those are by bodies of water.
Yeah, they're pretty close. Well, even the ones in Teotihuacan, I don't know if they're super close to bodies of water.
Or maybe they were.
Don't say.
Right?
Yeah.
But these ones are.
But the ones in Yucatan, there's like, I believe Chichen Itza, it's on the water. Like, well, Chichen Itza is not on the water. There's another one pyramid nearby that it's, my mom, and she was down there a while back and she's like, that pyramid, it's on the water.
That's cool. So these ones are where?
These other ones, the Tikal, I think they're in Mexico. I can't remember actually, to be honest.
There's no water near these ones.
Not apparently next these ones, or I don't know if they're in like in Peru. But in Chichen Itza, so I don't know if you ever have seen. There's tons of YouTube videos. So Quetzalcoatl, the feather serpent, comes alive every year on the equinox. Oh. So in Chichen Itza, which one?
What equinox?
The spring equinox.
Oh, okay.
So every spring equinox, if you go to Chichen Itza, which is in the Yucatan Peninsula, there's this pyramid, and I can't remember exactly the time, but the way this pyramid is created, it makes a shadow that looks like the snake is going down.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've seen that.
So
that's so cool.
It's fascinating. I really want to, there's, you know, now it's just become a circus down there to see that. But
it's so crazy that like every year on the spring equinox, that's what happens, just because that's the position that the earth is in.
Yep. But they made it intentional.
Yeah.
So it had to mean something. So they clearly created this in reverence to Kukulkan. But what else?
You ever think about like, they made all this stuff with such intention, right? So like, so that, you know, we're over here trying to interpret what happened. Do you ever think in like thousands of years from now, like people are going to be, or whatever's here is going to be digging up artifacts of like our time and like
our headphones and these things,
yeah, like what are they,
microphones?
What are they going to think about us? Like, or because everything is so like nothing is sustainable.
Oh yeah,
right?
everything
Like,
probably shriveled and died.
are they just gonna think we never existed?
They're gonna find like these.
They're gonna find like a
blobs.
Nokia phone and be like, "What is this?"
They communicated with another life. No, just with the grandma in this plane.
We just played Snake all day on our phones and texted T9 style.
Okay, so actually finishing up the Mayan. So von Daniken, and which I'm not sorry.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Let's go with Eric.
Yes, Eric.
We're on a first name
points
basis.
to one of the glyphs on a step pyramid where an inscription claims it was spot where the ancient gods visited from the heavens. These pyramids were impressively built throughout the Mayan Empire, with 60 found at Tikal alone. So Tikal, I need to know. I should know this. 60 pyramids found in the Tikal region. The more well-known Mayan pyramids include, again, the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, the Temple of the Sun, and the Temple of the Moon are found at the Teotihuacan. These pyramids align with the 3 stars in the belt of the constellation Orion, just like the pyramids of Giza. So Chichen Itza, which is the one that I'm telling you about, the snake going down.
When do they align?
I don't know, but I've married the...
Like at certain, obviously, because if it's this, I mean, obviously the Earth is always moving. Interesting. Yeah, at some point they align, obviously.
All three with the Orion's belt.
And same with
Giza.
So
Chichen Itza was a sacred city for the Mayans and a center for religious rituals, ceremonies, and sacrifices. The city's architecture and alignment with the celestial events reflect the Mayans' advanced understanding of astronomy and spirituality. Originated 3,000 years ago, the Mayan civilization flourished until 1900 AD, when the Mayan people from the south disappeared for some unknown reason. No one knows why they ceased to exist. It remains some mystery till this day.
Interesting.
Maybe they all got on the ship of Atlantis and took off.
Yeah, they all hopped on the Hansmobile and are traveling through time and space.
How funny. Okay, so we only have 2 more to go. I'm so excited. Okay, so the Incas. So now we're going to go to Machu Picchu.
Okay, so now we're back to Peru.
Now we're back into Peru. Only that gentleman was also doing things in Peru. Hopefully I didn't mix it and that was a Peru. So if suddenly I found confused, we'll just go back.
Okay.
I'm telling you, there's so many things. Okay, but I did. So I knew about Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about this other one that is way more fascinating. Okay. It's called, so there's Machu Picchu and then there's Sacsayhuamana. In English, I'm thinking Sacsayhuamana. Sacsayhuamana. It's the site and it's outside Cusco. I'm going to tell you where. But okay, the connection with the divine connection, right? The Incas created their civilization knowledge to the god Viracocha, who was described as a bearded, light-skinned figure arriving from the sky.
Jesus.
Thank you. The precision cut interlocking stonework in its sites like Huaman, has led some to speculate about lost advanced technology or extraterrestrial assistance. However, if you ever meet somebody from Peru, please do not tell them that their city was built by aliens. They do not like that. They don't like it? They do not like that.
Oh, good. I'm going to Peru soon. So.
There was a lot on, like, if you ever,
Dang it.
Peruvians do not like, they like to think that their people were just really strong and were able to build all this. I may have to debunk that here with what I'm going to share next. But just if you come
Can we go back to
them,
this light-skinned bearded dude real quick?
Yes.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Could be Jesus. Or could be Hans. How? I mean, I wonder how long it would really take to travel back in time from 1945 to however long ago that was. Like, what is the space-time, like, the speed of light? You know what I mean? Like, how long would it really take
2 minutes
to travel? I need to watch Back to the Future and get my facts straight here. But, like, he would probably have grown a beard by then.
Oh. How do we know he did not have a beard already? Do we know if he was thin or?
Oh, I guess I don't really know. Well, I did see a
full-figured?
picture of him, and I don't think he had a beard. I can't remember now. I
Oh,
kinda,
you did see a picture
yeah,
of him. Ooh,
I
okay.
did. Yeah,
I may need to see that picture
they
because I have a
all.
picture.
I
of
feel
him.
like all German dudes in that time had to be very clean shaven.
That's
like, it
true.
was a very,
So
like,
maybe that's why. And then malnourished. That's why he was skinny.
yeah. Well, and he was in a spaceship, so he
Yeah.
was away from the sun, so he got more pale.
Yeah, and decrepit, so he's still alive.
And maybe he kept traveling back in time, and so he is Jesus. Hans is Jesus,
Wow.
who is also an alien.
Mic drop.
Podcast over.
Podcast over. Please don't cancel us.
Oh my God. I can just see people showing up at
Just
my
like-
door with like pitchforks and stuff. The church is going to be after me for sure.
Well, which one? There's some that will be pro you. So
That's true. Tom Cruise would be proud. Anyways.
oh, thank you, Tom Cruise. I can't wait to see
Oh,
your
jeez.
Mission Impossible number 300.
Yeah, right. He
Okay.
doesn't age. Can we talk about that? Okay, just kidding. Go ahead. Maybe he is Hans. All right, I'm done.
Okay. In the Inca era, I need a new name for Sacsayhuaman. Sacsayhuaman. I need to just not have any.
Sucky.
No, I need to do the actual name and give it
Oh, yeah.
respect.
Go
right?
ahead, go
Okay.
ahead. All right.
In the Inca era, Sacsayhuaman was one of the most important ceremonial centers of the time, and it had a very close connection with the city of Cusco, located only 4 kilometers from the city. It is also believed that Sacsayhuaman was the main water channel that supplied the entire city of Cusco.
Whoa.
An Inca fortress. Oh, so this is actually not like a pyramid. It's like a fortress.
Okay.
Which I was just fascinating.
Dang.
It is now in ruins, plunder and unusual by. This kind of pissed me off. Okay. It is now in ruins, plundered as usual by the Spanish conquistadors. Besides killing countless native South Americans, they looted the Inca culture for gold and silver, drove the natives' religion underground, and disseminated their monuments. The conquistadores did a thorough job of plundering this ancient site, hauling away anything that was movable. What remains is not movable, and that is what is remarkable, that you cannot move it because it's so darn heavy or energetic pull. So this site provides compelling evidence of technologies beyond the abilities of a culture that did not even have the benefits of the wheel.
Whoa.
So they did not have. So consider that the battlement walls of Sacsayhuaman are built of enormous andesite stones found nowhere near the site. They are believed to originated from several quarries ranging 12 to 46 miles distance. The largest stone weighs 120 to 200 tons.
Whoa.
They were apparently hauled somehow over severe terrain. Conventional theories on transportations usually mention a combination of ropes, ramps, and the labor of hundreds of thousands of workers because they did not have the wheel. The details vary because nobody really knows for sure. The stones are shaped not into squares or rectangles or any other geometry, but into puzzle-like pieces with precise rounded edges. Then the most astonishing aspect of the whole thing, these misshapen pieces are lifted to great heights and assembled perfectly without mortar. The results are so precise that you can slip a dollar bill or aperitivo nuevo sol between the joints. So it's just incredible.
You can't?
You can't. I'm sorry. You can't.
You can't even slide a dollar bill.
You can. It's so precise. You can't slide
So
it.
is this
Thanks for
anywhere near
listening,
water?
and don't forget to follow us on
a
social
river?
media
Like,
at
what if
Witches
they-
Who Podcast.
Even how would you even shove?
Well,
like,
Machu, it's only 4 kilometers away from Machu Picchu, which was believed. Well, what's it? Machu Picchu, the one that was believed that had all the water from the ceremony centers. No, this, I believe this is where they believe. I thought I said that this was like their water site.
oh, this one was.
that provided all the water for Cusco.
Well, I mean, water
the
could have
city.
moved these rocks, right?
Yeah, so this place was the main water channel that supplied the entire city. So I don't know how. I don't know if it had water near or after or where, but you cannot. It's so precise. You cannot slip a dollar bit. Like, is that
I mean, it had to
tight?
house water. So yeah.
Yeah, so it couldn't get out. I wonder what's in there if they
Interesting.
excavate that, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So our friends at Ancient Aliens suggests, of course, that the Inca had help from ancient aliens. Their reasoning rests on the premises that humans could not have constructed it because we didn't possess the skills or the technology. Therefore, a different intelligence must have provided assistance. The backup evidence as an ancient alien episode includes other artifacts, carvings, or connections to a distant site that suggests extraterrestrial life forms. It is all congruent, put forward by ancient alien theorists, as if that were equivalent to respected archaeologists. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, however, the case for the ancient alien people, as evidenced at the Sacsayhuaman and numerous other sites, is strong enough to make you wonder about it. Even those can be debunked. So, Machu Picchu, which is close to Sacsayhuaman, may have served as as an astronomical observatory because of its alignment with specific celestial phenomena. A more extreme argument citing a comparison with the other ancient ruins that demonstrate sophisticated engineering methods seemingly developed before their time suggests that extraterrestrials may have assisted in the construction of Machu Picchu. The methods used to build Machu Picchu are still a mystery. The Incas were expert stonemasons. That's why you can't tell them that extraterrestrials may have helped them, because they strongly believe that they were stonemasons. And it is amazing. It is amazing how precisely they could cut and fit stones together without the need for mortar. Not even a blade or grass could fit between these stones due to their immaculate design. Researchers are perplexed about the instruments and techniques used in this technique, known as ashlar masonry, especially in light of the historical technology constraints. The movement of enormous stones across rugged and steep terrain from quarries located miles away further complicates the riddle. Some theorists suggest that an advanced civilization, potentially extraterrestrial in its origin, may have provided the Incas with superior knowledge or assistance, making such precise construction impossible with the available technology at that time. Boom. But how crazy. So this is just almost like a fortress, but it used to be like an amazing city. Then got, El Conquistador came in and took it all away, but they couldn't move those rocks.
That's insane.
I know.
Yeah, they were just so heavy, and somehow they lifted them up super, super high. Because even if they could figure out how they got these rocks down there, like, whether they floated them on a river or whatever, how would they lift them? Anti-gravity.
That's all I can think about. Like, or really,
even if they had like abilities, right? Like, even if it wasn't like they had this technology, maybe the technology was literally like being more tapped into the energetics of the planet and like telekinesis.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean?
Like,
that.
Yeah,
there's so much magnetism on Earth.
We are in this like era of like, oh, they must have had tools. Like they had to have a laser cutter and they had to have all these things. Like
maybe not.
Maybe it's literally energetics, and that's why we're not finding these tools. Yeah, and the advanced civilization is because they literally knew how to use the Earth's energy the way it was intended to be.
Just like in the witchcraft, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather. They just move them.
New theory. Let's try that. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. To all these 2-ton, 300,000-ton boulders. Okay.
So now we're moving to India.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. The Vedic
best for last. Wait, not, well.
No, I actually,
yes. I love all of it.
So ancient Indians, Vimana flying machines and the gods of the sky. So this is based on the temple of Kailasa, which I believe also Ellora it's called. But the divine connection, the Mahabharata and Ramayana describe flying machines called Vimanas, powerful energy weapons and battles that sound like nuclear warfare. Some believe ancient Hindu texts describe real advanced technology, possibly extraterrestrial origin. And you mentioned that there's the book that Daniken wrote, right? Or who? Yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
Eric, yeah. Let's not call him by
Chariots
his.
of the Gods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he links like all of everything together.
I love this. So the enigmatic Kalyasa temple, among the remarkable structures within the cave stands out with its prominent Kailasa temple. This temple is unique in that it was carved from the top down.
Oh,
Contrary to conventional bottom-up constructing methods. Even with today's technology, replicating such a feat seems almost impossible.
so they were just like carved it, like they had.
Up and to down, yeah. The
Okay.
sheer difficulty of scaling 150 feet mountain, let alone working on top of it, raises the question, could humans have accomplished such remarkable undertaking while climbing itself seems so difficult? Then working on top seems impossible. So, humans or alien origins. There are two possibilities regarding the creation of these magnificent structures. One is that humans equipped with extraordinary strength and skills built them. So, Poseidon's sperms.
Yeah.
Right? Alternatively, some speculate that these temples and caves may have been the work of aliens, while the advanced technological abilities of ancient Indians cannot be dismissed. The mystery of their origins continue to be, just fascinated. With carbon dating, we get to know that Ajanta caves, the time period until the 2nd century before Christ to the 6th century after death. And the time period of Ellora, which is the Kalyasha, like Temple of Ellora, those caves is 16th century after death to the 11th century after death. So the Ellora caves are about 1500 to 200 years old. I didn't find a lot. There was a lot of pictures and people like to kind of see. I didn't find, there's probably a lot more. I may have not done as much research on it, but there was a lot of pictures. It looked amazing. And I was trying to think, but there's a place, but I think it's in the Middle East where my cousin actually went there, and you have to climb down to get into these caves, but these caves, it's like this temple, it like carved into a mountain.
Wow.
I forgot what it was. And so I'm like, is it this? It's not. It's just fascinating. So this is the thing. We go from Mexico to Egypt to India to Machu Picchu, and they all are connected.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And so the Vimanas are said to be these chariots that the gods ride, or like the Indian deities ride down from the sky and offer support, right, to the people. And it's so interesting. Like the Vimanas are, they're consistent with like other depictions across cultures.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about them a little bit on the last episode, but I don't know. Are you still going? Sorry.
No.
Oh, so
I have
the
two more
other
and that's
things
it.
about with in ancient Egypt, or sorry, not Egypt, in ancient India, there was also like in the Mahabharata, it's like a war, like it's this it's huge epic, right, of battle, and like this story of like history of these Vedic societies, and they're said to have advanced technologies similar to like nuclear war, right? And they actually found like melted stone in these areas. I forget exactly like the cities, but in India that are consistent with like nuclear war.
Wow.
Like nuclear explosions. Super interesting. I think it's called vitrification, I want to say. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, it's like melted stone that's only possible through like nuclear war. Yeah, or nuclear explosion or whatever.
Wow. Fascinating.
Right?
So we can't just ignore this and be like, no, it didn't happen.
No, not at all. Okay. And like in India too, like in Vedic culture, like the Mahabharata, this is history. Like this happened. This is their history. This isn't like, oh, you grow up, you read it and you know, interpret it like the Bible or whatever. Like, no, like this is life. Like this is
their history book.
Yeah. In a sense, like this is like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's not even like, this is just who they are. This is a part, like, right. Like, it's not like, I feel like for us, like me, at least for as an American, it's like, we don't really have that kind of culture because we're this like Mod Podge of a bunch of different people, a bunch of different cultures pushed into one that we don't really, and we're a super young society, right?
Yeah.
Like we're a super young country. We don't really have like this basis of truth.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard for me to put into words, like how this is like the Mahabharata is literally just like that's just life. It's life. And so it's not even a question whether or not this happened for them. And I mean, maybe it's, you know, appropriation to even say it was an alien, but of course. I mean, like, why is it so crazy to think that gods could be, you know, out of this world? Aren't they supposed to be out of this world?
I know.
Right?
But we're all God inside.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, right? All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So bringing it home with these last two. So another ancient site is Göbekli Tepe, and it's in Turkey, and they don't know much about it.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
It's like what, like the oldest structural
like ever,
actually, like what, 12,000 years old or something like that?
So the connection, this 12,000-year-old site predates writing and agriculture, featuring massive, precise arranged stone pillars covered with strange carvings. Some believe it could be the work of an advanced lost civilization or guided by otherworldly beings. So I found this Professor Nekmi Karul, the coordinator. He's actually coordinator of the Stone Hills, at the project, and head of the Göbekli Tepe and Karahantepe excavations. At Karahantepe, he found over 10 skull fragments, some of which burnt or exposed to which were burnt or exposed to heat. We also observed that tools like flint had been used on them, creating irregular scratches and cravings.
Whoa.
These treatments were applied to the skulls at certain intervals, indicating a ritual of cannibalism.
I was just going to say that. Cannibalism?
Yeah, however, remains a debatable topic. And with current data, we cannot suggest likelihood. That's what he said.
Interesting.
He also addressed the links between Göbekli Tepe and Karahantepe and aliens or energy, saying, my colleagues, and this is Curl talking, it's like, my colleagues and I have witnessed certain things. Those working with energy are even advising us on where to dig.
Oh, interesting that they're actually taking that as...
Yeah. And he also says that like people will wear all white and go and climb. And since they started to doing more excavation, more people have been coming, but more for like reverence and like because they feel a connection. And if you go there, you'll feel like this energetic pull to it that it has. I know, but that cannibalism, I was like,
Yeah, gross.
I know. I was like, oh. Okay. And we're going to bring it home with the Moi. So the Easter Island, the Moi and the Sky Beings. So the Moi statues.
This is in Polynesia, right?
Easter Island. So the divine connection, right? The Rapa Nui people at the Moi statues were into placing, using mana. They were walk there using mana, a mysterious energy force. So mana is what they call.
The Moi statues
were walked into place using mana, which is a mysterious energy force. Some believes the statue's exaggerated heads and features resemble extraterrestrial beings. The ancient Moi statues of Eastern Islands are as vexing as they look, numbering in the hundreds and reaching up to 30 feet and 80 tons.
Whoa.
There's no surviving blueprint from their construction or how the huge carvings were moved from the quarry mile inland to the coast. The mythology passed down through the oral tradition of the indigenous Rapa Nui say the statues were walked. And the civilization and their wonders remained just complete mystery because we really don't know. What I did find was that there was a picture of, it was like tons of people like trying to walk one of these statues. And they were like, yeah, it can be done. It can be done. But as people are trying to walk it, it's like they had to stop because it was about to collapse forward. So because they just had like ropes on each side to kind of like walk it, like wobble side to side. But the weight of it was like it wasn't quite calculated.
Interesting.
So they had to, I don't know if there were more, maybe this was a while back, like in the 90s, I think, when they were trying to do that. I don't know if they tried to do it again, but
it sounds super similar to like the place in Peru we were talking about of
the big stones.
Yeah.
Sakai. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so these people, the Polynesians, I don't remember what they were actually called, but literally said they used energy.
Rapa Nui. Yeah.
Rapa
Mana.
Nui, used mana. Yeah. Use the energy to put these statues there.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they have done that in Peru and just use the energy, right? Again, have you ever seen the little like meme or little animation of the Moai statues? Like they're just like the head sticking up and then their little tiny bodies under the sand or whatever. I just think that's really funny.
I was watching with the night at the museum with my son the other day, and there's like one, and he's like num num.
Oh yeah, that one's
gum
cute.
gum.
I love gum gum. Cute.
It's very cute. So it's just everything is kind of with them. It's just the Rapa Nui, just through word of mouth. But it's kind of what they believe that they were walked there, but by whom, where there's not enough information.
Fascinating.
So,
and isn't there like also there's like a Polynesian text that, what is it? It's like the Rongorongo. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's a text that's totally undeciphered. It's an undeciphered glyph system. Like there's nobody known to man now that knows this language or that can decipher it, and it's not consistent with like any other language or any other glyph system that they've seen.
Wow!
So they just have they found it like near. I think it's somewhere in Polynesia near the Moai statues. I think. Okay. That they're like, maybe this has all the freaking answers of the world and we're never gonna know.
Yeah, so no Google Translate then.
Yeah, you can't Google Translate the freaking Rongorongo or Ron. I don't know, I can't say it. Rongorongo is what it looks like, but I don't know if that's right. Yeah. And how crazy is it? So we just traveled all around the world, and yet every story has relatability. Like, right? They all relate to each other. Yeah.
And they're so far apart, and they have so many similarities. So.
Yeah. Fascinating. I know. So the new end of the world is in 15 years. Guys, mark your calendars. What else did we learn today? Funny. Hans is everywhere. Might be Jesus.
Don't cross that off yet.
Yeah, don't, hashtag stop Hans. We don't want Hans. Another Hitler. Anyways.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so wow. That was super interesting. Yeah. Thank you for doing all that homework.
It's fascinating just learning more about it and just wow, it's so incredible. Yep, Tucker says that too.
Tucker is fascinated. Maybe he's an alien.
Oh,
probably.
Hans? Are you Hans?
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, it's more to come because we are not done researching ancient civilizations. Like any one of those places, we can go deep into for sure.
Absolutely.
And I know there's more than what we just covered too. But yeah, definitely watch some cool documentaries, watch Ancient Aliens, keep listening
Ancient
to our
Civilizations
podcast.
too with, I can't believe I went
Graham
through all
Hancock,
that.
yeah.
And I didn't mention him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has amazing things. I know he's done some amazing podcasting with Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, those episodes are so good.
They are. So go listen to them.
Yeah, it's Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. Go listen to those people. So good.
Yeah.
And Graham Hancock also wrote a bunch of books. I think Fingerprints of the Gods is one of his original ones, and there's a bunch of other ones that he's written. Yeah. And that poor guy gets so much hate. Like I think we talked about him on the other episode, but he gets so much hate because they call him a pseudoscientist. He's like, dude, I'm a freaking journalist. Like,
yeah. I just love that he won't be stopped. Like, he's like, I'm just going to continue to go.
Yeah, he goes, call me whatever you want. I'm still going to keep doing this stuff.
I wonder if he knows about Hans. What's his theory on that?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to write him an email.
Let us know. We need your help.
Where's Hans?
Yes.
We need your help.
Yeah. We need your help here.
Ooh, also, our friend Giorgio has his own series, the guy from Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
He has his own series called like In Search of Aliens.
Ooh.
It's really good. It's all about ancient astronaut theory and like he links like a bunch of stuff together, like Loch Ness and Bigfoot. Like he links them all into this ancient astronaut theory. It's so good.
How interesting.
Yeah, super interesting. But
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, this was Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone.
Yes,
It
thanks for
was
listening.
So we'll come back next week for another episode. So tune in, stay curious. And until next time, besitos. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcast.